So, what if everything we think we know about Stranger Things is completely backwards? What if the final villain of Season 5 isn't Vecna? Isn't the Mind Flayer? Isn't Henry Creel? What if it's 11? Before you say no, before you assume she's the hero the story has been building toward, let's look at the evidence. Because the more you dig into it, the more the show starts to hint that 11 wasn't just made to fight monsters. She might have been created to become one. Let's go all the way back to Season 1. When 11 escapes the lab, she's terrified, confused, barely remembers anything, and noticeably afraid of her own powers. But do you remember what Brenner called her? Not a child. Not a girl. He called her his weapon. Not a protector. Not a hero. A weapon. And what do weapons eventually do? They get used. Or they turn on the people who created them. Now think about what 11 actually is. She's the only known person who can open gates into the Upside Down. Vecna can't open gates by himself. The Mind Flayer can't. No one else in Hawkins can. Only her. She is the original key that connects our world to theirs. But here's where it gets dark. Every single time 11 uses her powers in an extreme emotional state, a gate opens. Anger, fear, pain. All the things that push her closer to the edge. And in Season 4, when Henry is explaining their history together, he hints that the Upside Down responded to her emotions long before she even understood them. So, who is really influencing who? People assume 11 shut the gate in Season 1 and defeated the Mind Flayer in Season 2. But what if she only made things worse without realizing it? What if every victory she's had was actually part of a much bigger plan? Here's something most people forget. When Will is possessed in Season 2, the Mind Flayer says he likes it cold. But when 11 fights the Mind Flayer in Season 3, the temperature drops around her too. Why? Because the Upside Down's energy reacts to her, not the other way around. And now let's talk about Season 4. The moment Henry realizes the full extent of her powers, he doesn't try to kill her. He admires her. He tells her they're the same. He calls her extraordinary. He wants her to join him, not as a pawn, but as an equal. You don't recruit someone to your side unless they have the potential to become something terrifying enough to matter. Something that threatens even you. Now here's the biggest clue of all. The show constantly parallels 11 with Vecna. Both were isolated children with abilities. Both were experimented on. Both were pushed psychologically and emotionally until something broke. And both have moments where they use their powers violently, sometimes without full control. When 11 attacked Angela in Season 4, her powers activated before she even got them back. Not physically, but mentally. She wanted to hurt her, and she did. Just like Henry did when he felt cornered or humiliated. The point isn't that 11 is evil. The point is that she's capable of darkness. The same darkness Vecna embraced. And what happens in Season 5 when the stakes rise even higher? When the people she loves start dying? When the Upside Down takes everything from her all over again? Does she lose control? Does she open gates without meaning to? Does she tap into powers she can't manage? Does she become the very thing she's been fighting? And here's a detail from the Duffers themselves. They said the finale will be full circle. Back to the beginning. Back to Season 1. Back to the original mystery of who 11 is. And what she's truly meant to be. What if full circle doesn't mean she beats the monster? What if it means she becomes it? What if the Mind Flayer's original goal wasn't to destroy 11, but to consume her, merge with her, or influence her until she becomes the perfect vessel? It would explain why the Upside Down froze in 1983, the moment she entered the world. It would explain why monsters keep coming for her. It would explain why Vecna said they've been connected long before Hawkins even knew his name. And maybe the most chilling idea? What if the final battle isn't between 11 and Vecna, but between Eleven and herself, her human side, versus the part of her that the Upside Down has been shaping since she was born. Because if the power inside her ever slips out of her control, if her grief, anger, or trauma becomes too much, she won't just open a gate. She won't just fight Vecna. She won't just destroy Hawkins. She could become the greatest threat the world has ever seen. And maybe that was always the plan.